especially River, always looking to get some sneaky engages off. But I'm also I'm very concerned about the Sylas, which is a good ban, but I'm also concerned when you're playing against Red about the Yorick for FNB. That thing has actually traumatized me. So, you know, good thing right now Renekton is still up, so you know there's definitely some decent answers. But maybe game 2 or something like that, you have to worry more. 100 Thieves, the priority on Wukong still remains here. This champion is such a good team fighting jungle right now, and pairs with a lot of the you know, engage AP mid lane champs that Quid likes to play.
Yeah, and you still have Annie and Orianna in the game, so if Red doesn't take Annie, I expect 100 Thieves to take Annie. And it really makes sense when you're banning the Poppy here, right? So honestly, I'm a little bit curious what Red is going to do here. I'm probably looking at a Skarner Azir now, because when you take the Azir, you're going to go for Skarner, and Skarner's a pretty good matchup into the Wukong.
Yeah, it gives you good scaling team fight for later. Beefy front line, scaling Azir here, and a lot of playmaking. It's funny because we also talked about both of these mid laners are melee specialists, but for both of them, their most played champions of the split is Orianna.
Yeah.
And so he hovers the Orianna. Now he's going to play with the audience a little bit.
Only one's played Viego or Lee Sin, though. I'm going to remind everybody of that. They're hovering a lot of different options right here. You had highlighted the anything card, and maybe they switched to it at the very end, but no,
the
it's
Aurora. And I do want to bring out Kobe. Did you leak some draft strats earlier with Dhokla? Because Dhokla was so adamant in terms of how much he disliked Aurora top when he was talking to us on the desk. However, in your interview earlier, was talking about how that still absolutely could be a flex pick for them.
Yeah, I mean, he was just talking about how you know, the champion auto attacks. It's nice to warm up with Aurora specifically and the combos, but I would say 99.9999% when 100 Thieves pick it, it is Quid mid, because Quid is so good with Aurora. We've seen him carry so many teamfights, and they've actually used this combo before too. The Neeko plus Aurora is crazy good engage. These are the types of comps that I love the most for 100 Thieves. When they have this hard engage, they can pincer you from multiple sides. So the first 3 picks to me just look like vintage 100 Thieves, and makes me feel pretty confident.
Yeah, they have a bit of a better skirmishing comp for 100 Thieves. For the red side, the Bard is one of the better responses into the Neeko. It's a lot of really good counter engage, and it's a pretty good lane, so you get a really nice scaling Bard. So overall, both comps I think are very standard. I'm a little bit surprised that they did go for the Aurora over Annie this game, but I think the Aurora is still strong. It still has a pretty good win rate against the Azir.
And it's technically still flexible. I just want to remind everybody of that. Technically, the Aurora can still move around. The Neeko is expected to go into that support position for Eyla, as you had highlighted the Bard versus that. So now it's 80 carry bans from the side of Red, top lane bans from the side of 100 Thieves.
And that Yorick is taken away, Kobe, so you don't have to worry about it, at least for this game.
Yeah. Does mean that we will have to keep it in the back of our minds for the rest of the series, though, and doesn't get fearlessly taken out. But, of course, I think about top lane right now. And Red, of course, could save FNB till Red 5 for the full counter pick, so that's why 100 Thieves are kind of protecting a little bit.
Yeah, so the Kaze ban, that protects stuff like Jhin. It protects more of the standard ADC. Since you're running Bard, you want a stronger AD, such as the Jhin. I'm surprised they banned Varus, because Varus is also pretty good for them here. So I do think they are looking for a Jhin. Whereas the left side, they really want like more of a diving, more of an aggressive AD, so that's why you ban the Kaze on the red side. So Yorick ban, as we expected. I'm just really curious what 100 Thieves bans here, because if they ban the Jhin, it does make the right side composition just a little bit worse, because Bard really likes playing with Varus and Jhin the most.
Okay, interesting. Well, let's see if 100 Thieves have that same read. No, it's the Renekton ban, so they had the read that maybe FNB is going to pick that one up. And that's now, what, 3 top lane bans against FNB. A lot of respect to that player.
Yeah, but what I do want to point out, though, is now Ambessa is a lot higher prio. So now if they take the Jhin, maybe 100 Thieves are getting the Ambessa back. Dhokla is 2-0 on the champion, so maybe that is what they're looking for here. So let's see if they take that Ambessa. If not, FNB, I think, is more than happy to take the Ambessa on 5.
I can imagine it.
And it really does go with the theme of the dive for this comp too. FBI has been quite good at times on Lucian, but some people get a little nervous with that hover.
Yeah.
I like the Corki, I like the Lucian, any of those that can go in and follow up the engage, either the Colin from long distance or Corki rockets. But the Ambessa, like you said, think card is locked in for Dhokla.
Yeah, so now thinking about picks that FNB can do into that, he can play Camille, he can go something simple like Aatrox. They banned out the Yorick too, so the Yorick also he'd play into the Ambessa. So they're covering their bases for sure. But still curious what AD FBI locks in, because he doesn't have that many good options, and we don't have that many good options. You usually default to Corki, because Corki is just a strong option in most situations.
Yeah, I mean, Corki fits into such a wide variety of comps, including this one, also that Neeko.
Rek'Sai.
Give them, ooh, interesting, okay.
So the tanky Rek'Sai, this champion can get so frustrating and annoying to deal with, but I mean, this front line here for the Azir looks quite good for Red. So if they can rely on Kaze to just scale and you know, go with the Azir win condition, that looks like the plan here for Red.
And think our Kaze, again, one of the younger players on Red. What do you think about him and his ability to pilot, kind of being the main pilot in this game one?
Yeah, so this is going to be tough. This is one of those games where on Azir, you really have to be getting prio once you get Nash's Tooth and getting push against the Aurora and making sure Aurora's stuck under turret. And if you can't do that, then the Aurora is going to be impacting the map a lot more. So this is really going to test how he can match up against Quid.
That has been the question on everyone's mind. Real quick, because we love having you for Pick and Ban. Who won draft?
I'm more confident with 100 Thieves in this type of draft because it's a lot more skirmish heavy, and I think these teams are going to fight anyway. So
there is expectation for that. Well, thank you so much, Thinkard, for coming on through Pick Ban with us. He thinks 100 Thieves wins Pick Ban for game number 1, but I love that Red have such a defined style. Frontline, Kaze on this hyper carry to be the main character going into a very high pressure situation. One best of 5 to end the season of one of these teams. One best of 5 to qualify for Worlds. 100 Thieves versus Red Canids Kalunga. Game 1 starting right here.
And I just really, really want to see a lot of early looks from these players. We kind of touched upon in desk, but Doom and River should be looking for plays, especially around that mid lane. So I'm curious to see if either of them will go for like a cheeky level 2, level 3, anything like that. But yeah, I really, really want a bloody series from these two, given their domestic and more recent cross-conference performances.
As do I. Definitely looking forward to it, especially because so much is on the line for this series. This is a world spot on the line for 2 regions, for the North as well as the South here. So I talked to both Kaze and Dhokla beforehand, and they were talking about how much it really would mean to both these organizations with the runs that they have been on this year. And especially for Red with these, you know, Doom, Kaze, and Rabelo all being promoted up from Tier 2 and finding some very quick success on this team. Kaze very specifically said, I really want to win, especially for my teammates to be able to get there. So a lot on the line.
And on the other side for the roster, Rivers kind of last hurrah here before, you know, stepping away from pro play at least for a little bit. But expectation, we'll see what that leads to in the future. Right now, in the laning phase, we have Dhokla in the bottom side, and FBI actually started the game in the top lane.
Yeah, this is something we've been seeing a lot more from, especially if anyone's been watching those LCK playoffs, essentially sending your ranged AD to get that experience against a top lane pick. We saw this from KT. We saw it last night in the T1 Gen G series as well. And yeah, it's kind of the next evolution of a quote-unquote lane swap.
Oh,
right?
The cursed words. Yeah. But, I mean, at least we do still get to see that 2v2. Frosty and Rabelo with the range advantage do get the wave pushed in, and FBI gets the wave pushed in on F&B in the top side as response.
Yeah, and I mean, down here, it does mean that Red are going to be able to take control of that wave despite, obviously, the kind of laning pressure that you usually come to see from this Neeko pick, as Eyla is already headed through mid. We'll see if he wants to mess around with this wave, but probably not.
Yep, on his way back to meet up for the lane swap with his duo, because you arrive there at around 3 minutes and it's all good. The 3-minute timer.
Frosty's here too, but Eyla, I mean, if Red go too aggressive, okay, no action there.
Okay, so pretty smooth pathway for him up to the top, and then we'll see about the recall and teleport out down to the other side. Currently looking pretty good for both of them.
As we see Rabelo and Dhokla's wave pushing slightly into Dhokla yet again here. Now Frosty finally links up with F&B, so it's a 2v2 true in the top side now.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just going to stick on up there. Honestly, Dhokla should be pretty fine here, farming under tower 2. Rabelo's holding 4th shot, but Dhokla hasn't sustained as much damage as the Rek'Sai. And usually you're like, well, Rek'Sai's got way more sustain than Ambessa. FMB here taking a little bit worse for wear as River heads up too. With 3 people, they're really going to force the issue.
Would have been spotted by Frosty. FMB also sees him. So looks like he will go for a back here. Let's see if there's a dive. 100 Thieves have 3 members here, but missed the Tingle Barb, so most likely not. Back is completed. River's back and found.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Doom did kind of pass through mid lane as expected, right? Trying to get that wave in a good position for Kaze's Azir. This is something that we kind of talked about. We expected to see, if not both junglers, definitely Doom, because they really do like to get all of these resources on Kaze as quickly as possible.
All right, so Dhokla's still doing pretty well down here, getting a little bit of the extra farm. Turret plate earned by Rabelo, though.
Yeah, I think that's the trade-off, is that there's a lot of damage onto FNB topside, but he maintained health on the turret a little longer, so Rabelo gets that first plate, whereas topside only half damage on that first plate. Frosty actually lands a nice little stun there, just harassing 100 Thieves as Rabelo goes for a reset and is heading back to that top side.
Exactly. Now we're going to get the swap back, and FNB will recall and go for his teleport back out with his purchase. With the refillable as well, so extra sustain here for the Rek'Sai that already has a decent amount.
Yeah, and at the end of kind of all of these switcheroos and swaps, it's pretty even in terms of gold, but I do think that Ambessa is the main benefactor, right? As Kaze takes a pretty big chunk from Quid. He's going to have to back off here. But yeah, I think that's kind of what they're looking for, right, is get Dhokla and FBI in some solid spots going forward. With the kind of benefit for Red being you do get gold onto that Jhin pretty quickly. Yep,
and they are keeping the swap going as well. Putting FBI back down there to the bottom side in the 2v1. And we'll see if they can make another pass towards mid, because that's something we didn't really touch on, but the Skarner kind of made a little cruise through the mid lane. Of course, Aurora is very hard to lock down, and Quid remained just fine there, but Quid's actually doing very well with his CS too.
Frosty's actually topside. Dhokla's dodged away from the Jhin W, so no further action there. And now the wave's going to crash, so let's see how much of Dhokla this wave he's able to capture, because he is sizably ahead in CS over FNB after all that lane swap like you highlighted, Emily.
Yeah, he is ahead. I was wondering if after taking this crab topside, if Doom was potentially going to look for something since they are pushing the wave in, but no, he is backing off.
Yeah, it's interesting. Doom is level 6, and he's headed down towards the other side of the map. They're pinging like they want to contest Dragon.
Yeah, River's level 5, so this actually would be a level advantage to Red's jungler. He's spotted now on the ward. FBI has the push bot side, but FNB is just holding him up so he can't help out. As Kaze comes down, Excel's impact into the wall. Doom hits the clone. 100 Thieves have to back off, but that's a leash on the Dragon. Now Quid comes in. 100 Thieves have a slight numbers advantage, but there's the Impale in onto the jungler. FNB's trying to knock him up. Kaze's the focus, flashes over the wall. FNB! First blood actually to Frosty. Dragon picked up by 100 Thieves as the fight continues. 100 Thieves FBI gets 1 kill on his own. He's completely sectioned off from the rest of the team, but will at least trade 1 kill for his death. Kill advantage to Red, Dragon to the Thieves.
And it gets bloody down here with the level advantage there. Doom crosses back and he's able to actually lock down River for a bit. But River escapes kind of to the side. He baits out the Azir ult and then goes to the Dragon. And then they get the Dragon. But the extra kills going over here to Red, we'll definitely track those. They went to less consequential champions than they would like. Obviously, they would love to have those kills onto the Azir. But they went to the Bard and to the Rek'Sai. But here's another look at it. Eyla flashes it. Meanwhile, River just takes it. And then here's where he goes. He baits out the Kaze ultimate. And then he goes back onto Dragon. Rek'Sai and Bard try and kill him before they can get it, but they still do. FBI then, of course, trading for the 1 and taking down the Azir.
Yep, and they're able to clean him up on the back half of this as well. So 2 kills over to Red. We did expect these kind of early objective contests to be a little bit bloody. I think this is something that 100 Thieves have said, like, okay, we are trying to work on maybe not giving up as many advantages when these kind of really early skirmishes happen. We're not necessarily in a good spot, so good for them that they're able to come out with that Drake.
And based on expectations, I think it's only going to get bloodier. That was first Drake, and we had essentially a 4v3 breakout.
Another thing to keep track of is the flashes that are all burned. 100 Thieves invested 3 flashes in that fight. So they did get the dragon, and it looks like they are also going to be able to get the grubs up here with their rotation. And bottom side of the map being having 3 members at the moment with Skarner on the bottom side as well for Red. So they are going to keep their lead with objectives, but maybe Red can target like FBI or something and look for a follow-up punish.
Yeah, and this is more classic 100 Thieves though, right? Where they're like, Dhokla, we're kind of relying on you to be on your own for a little bit while we cross map, while we take something else on the top side of the map. And River actually might be looking for something up top side.
Dhokla is the one focused right now. He's trying to trade damage back in under his turret, trying to clear the wave. Now top side, they are diving. FNB goes into the void and now comes out dead. 100 Thieves lose a player for it though, as Eyla goes down and Dhokla died bot side. So again, a kill trade up for Red.
Yeah, we're full circle, back to lane swaps and top laners getting dove. Kangas, this is, of course, this iteration is a little bit later, but both top laners going down. Top tower also so low that 100 Thieves have the luxury of just letting the minions die to the tower. They don't need to rush it down because bot side tower hadn't sustained as much damage. So FBI lets a bit more of the minions die off before he clears out the wave and gets all that gold, and this Corki is getting funneled a decent amount now.
Yeah, there's a lot of gold. Corki, Eyla.
Single Webs lands Kaze, big burst of damage, and Quid will make quick work of that health bar. Kill picked up by the Thieves.
I mean, that's funny because I mentioned all 3 flashes that 100 Thieves blew in the bottom side skirmish, but the one flash that Kaze blew for Red actually gets punished, and that is just a good gank from Eyla.
Yeah, really, really nice look from Eyla. The thing I did want to bring up, Red claiming the feats of warfare there, right? 100 Thieves, funneling that gold onto FBI, getting first turret on topside, and now off to a little 1K gold lead after that Eyla mid lane gank.
Yeah, the Triforce completed on FBI. Eyla getting more gold for Quid there in the mid lane. And I got to just talk about Eyla for a little bit here. I feel like he's having a resurgence in his career. One of his best performing years overall. Yes, he's had some rough moments here and there, but if you just look at the bulk of the work, very impressed with what Eyla's been able to do.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's been a huge part of this 100 Thieves resurgence. Let's just delete the Karma game.
Yeah, that one was the one I was thinking about.
We'll just delete that one from our memories. But he has had good Neeko games, good Rel games, lots of good engages from him. And now 100 Thieves are set up with their gold lead, and the fact that they took the top tower means they could already push that wave in. And think about the next objective, this dragon. That will give them 3 objectives. For the full upgraded boots if they're able to get this dragon. So they make the rotation, and Dhokla here only has a couple seconds left on his teleport, so they send him up to the top side and they prepare.
Yeah, again, nice map movements from 100 Thieves, getting that mid prio, right? Aurora is going to be pushing on this bot side to bot tier 1. River is going to be able to get this scuttle, and they're in a really good position to, if not take Drake right now, at least have their eyes on it.
And this is a pretty good stop there from Dhokla. FNB still on components at the moment here for Rek'Sai, and Dokla's got his full Eclipse, so does get the interrupt there. Plenty of tunnels up here with this tunnel network for FNB, so he's probably not too scared. There's a lot of escape routes behind him, as well as everybody kind of being focused on this dragon. Look at all the wards behind Drake for Red. They actually have fairly deep wards in through the jungle too, that can scout some movements from the Thieves, but Thieves have a lot of control through River.
And Dhokla seems to just want to hold FNB here because he still has those components. Now he's going to try and back off, but if he doesn't go top and then TP in, he's going to lose this wave. So 100 Thieves have a small window here. They also had a window earlier where FBI had Trinity Force. Rabelo had not finished an item. That window is gone. Rabelo does have that Yomu's, and FNB will be able to just run straight back up to that top lane. Still a 1,000 gold lead for the Thieves.
Now, personally, I am the biggest fan of Rek'Sai with Titanic Hydra. I actually been playing some Rek'Sai jungle, not top lane like it is almost always used in pro, but the auto attack reset is insane. We're actually going to get the fight now, though, as some skill shots go out, and Frosty is forced a magical journey away. So Titanic Hydra is a very big, power spike for the Rek'Sai, and allows you to have some threat and not just be this full tank Rek'Sai that people remember as this only knock-up bot.
You can still build it later if you want to, but for now, wave clear, ability to scrap, do damage. 100 Thieves trying to control the access point to the dragon. Quid is on the bottom side of the river, pushing that wave in, or at least going back towards it, as it's a fight for the vision here. Top side, FNB actually takes a big chunk of damage from Dhokla there. If Dhokla can win the 1v1 on his own, I mean, that changes the entire dynamic of this dragon approach.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still going to be difficult. Rek'Sai does have a good deal of sustain. She can kind of just park herself there. The bigger thing is if, as 100 Thieves are clearing out pretty much all of this vision from red, it's kind of a vision war for control over this bot side, and we'll see when the top laners decide to join in.
It's just so hard for Dhokla to get on top of FNB. I mean, look at all these tunnels that he's got up here. Call him Shia LaBeouf. He's in the movie Holes right now. Dhokla just cannot lock Rek'Sai down, so you're never going to find that 1v1 kill. Goes for the reset as Red now approach at the Dragon. 100 Thieves still have not started this up.
Yeah, no. River is here.
Does he go for the steal? Oh, Excel's back into the wall. Doom now sees River as the smite went down, and River does steal it away.
I've got my eyes. I'm so tense right now because they've been fighting for vision around this dragon for must be like a minute and a half, and I've had my eyes on this Bard ultimate. They can save it and use it for a defensive option, as we kind of highlighted in Champ Select with all the engage that 100 Thieves have. But they also were possibly looking for an offensive one. And now with the recall, seems like they have finally won the war of attrition for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, I think River won the war of attrition with the Scuttle Smite, right? And then this has given FBI complete mid lane control, that Corki just constantly pushing in this mid wave. So with the mid prio, with the absence of vision from Red, really nicely done from 100 Thieves to pick that up, start their Drake stacking now with 2, and also picking up that feats of monster slaying.
There
right?
you go,
yeah,
you got it. Also, credit to the Thieves for playing outside of expectations. I thought we would have 10 kills by this point in the game. 7's not bad, but this has been more about 100 Thieves playing control. They're playing the side lane. They're playing to always have mid lane push. They're stealing away those scuttles. They're almost picking out Rabelo right there. That's no summoner spells burn, so Red do get their AD carry to safety. But overall, this 1,500 gold lead almost entirely has just been from map play.
Yeah, and collecting all these objectives, too. Quite nice of a boon for them. They've got the 3 grubs for later. See if they can push heavier on these towers. Dhokla going for some fun trades with Ambessa. Eclipse Ambessa with the quick trades looks very good.
And now they're onto the Herald as well. So Red have just really not been able to find any of the neutral objectives so far. They throw out the Tempered Fate. They have Doom and Kaze coming in from the top side. Curtain Call, Herald picked up by River. And Red just aren't fast enough to the play, so 100 Thieves will go for their own engage. Emperor's Divide from Kaze, but now Quid jumps in on top of him. Pop Blossom defensively, as now Red trying their best to just lock down Quid. River, the focus, though, is exalted back into the wall. They got FBI. Carrie's in trouble, but Valkyrie's over the wall. Red just cannot find their kill. 100 Thieves are dancing around the man. Red finally get one. But 100 Thieves really made him work for it. Rabelo in some trouble here. Is now Dhokla going for his own 1v1 onto FNB on the bottom side. He's winning that one so far. FNB had the flash defensively. 100 Thieves just made Red look silly.
Yeah, FNB went and interrupted Dhokla's teleport. It's actually a very good play from FNB. He stops the teleport because he was teleporting behind the rest of them. I think that would have been 2 more kills for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Dhokla was looking to TP right in there. So that's actually nice coming out of FNB, as Dhokla will be able to push this wave and get a little bit of turret damage, but isn't able to clean up some of those other kills on the low health Red members.
That was a hype one. 100 Thieves, they get the Rift Herald and then they see the split from Red, so they feel like they can just engage on the top side. But Doom was so tanky. He was actually able to take a lot of that aggression.
Yeah, as soon as River went in, I was like, I don't know about this
Scary engaging on the Skarner.
But like, it's something you expect from them, but also something that did technically end up in their favor, but could have actually been a lot worse.
And then when he went back in for the kill onto the Bard, when he had like 150 HP, did get it, and he did kind of, force, you could say, Kaze to flash after him to kill. So by going in and back in to go for the Bard kill, it did also earn them an Azir flash. But here's another look at it, and here's the setup where the Bard does try and delay, but they're unable to like get Doom close enough for a smite fight or anything, and there's the turn on the top side.
Yeah, and as we see, Azir ult goes out. Quid really trying to look up.
Oh, back to life. Kaze's getting caught in the bot lane. 100 Thieves make a pick.
So they immediately punish that no flash from Azir for the follow-up kill of the last play that he used to go kill River, and 100 Thieves are now breaking the map open.
Yeah, really nice. We weren't able to see that at the end of the team fight, but right happened when River kind of went back in to get the kill. FNB should be able to get this turret top side as well for Red, so a little bit of a consolation prize as Frosty and Doom are looking for something onto
Binding
Dhokla.
lands. Doom has the Impale, but they just don't have a lot of damage there, so I think Dhokla should be safe. He does go for the Impale, buffered by Dokla's ultimate. Doom trying to continue the chase down, but there's a wave there. There's 100 Thieves members nearby, so Red have to call it off.
I like that we are amping up the pace now.
Yeah.
They're getting antsy in that game.
Game one, here we go.
Pop Blossom used. They're trying to find the pick here. The Cosmic Binding will try and buy some time here as now Doom out of the Tempered Fate immediately. Burst it down. Rabelo has to flash. Red lose a member and lose some summoner spells.
Yeah, the overload on the bottom side, 100 Thieves, basically sending everybody onto this side of the map. I actually love the play. Huge rewards for them, and they didn't give up that much on the top side. I mean, FNB is going to be able to get the wave into the tower. Dragon is spawning, but 100 Thieves still, they get paid, they get the flash off of the Jhin as well as the barrier, and have time to reset here before the Dragon and Otacon become the next targets.
Oh, fancy feed from Quid there. Using the Between Worlds to get across the wall. Frosty's not able to lock down 100 Thieves mid laner, and now 100 Thieves are on the Dragon. No answer from Red yet. They have a couple members coming nearby, but nobody close enough to threaten a smite. FNB takes the tunnel away, current call used. Now Kaze and Frosty are in the river. Doom's too far away. Now he's walking up, and the Emperor's Divide onto the front line here. They just take down Dhokla for his attempt. It's top laner for top laner as Doom will fall as well. The chase from the Thieves. Red trying to get to safety, but no flash on Rabelo. Gonna be tough here if Eyla can land this. Root is there, and Quid with the damage. Flash from FBI. Rabelo's out of there. Rampage to Quid.
Yeah, really nice follow through by 100 Thieves. FBI wants more.
Oh, Kaze got into the wall. Kaze actually can get some damage here on FBI, but not enough. Rooted again. Eyla is just sniping them over the walls.
This combination of the Aurora and Corki damage plus these Tangle Barbs that Eyla keeps landing onto Red Prio members is massive. Another really, really extended fight, but a huge swing in 100 Thieves' favor.
Yeah, this is why I love watching these types of comps in 100 Thieves' hands the most. These skirmish heavy, just go for multiple angles here, all forward, dive and getting these kills. They knew Jhin had no flash, and so they're able to hit the roots over the wall to pin him down, and then going for even more. So this timing, actually, River's going to decide, I'll go back and finish the Dragon, since it is going to be the top laners like smashing their heads together there, basically in the front, and 100 Thieves can push forward off the extra damage.
Well, and Red spends so much on killing Dhokla, right? Then Quid and FBI are just able to clean up on the back half of this, as we see.
I love it. Flashing forward and valking forward.
And then another one here from Eyla.
There we go. Oh, that was so nice.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Hit him with the bye-bye again.
He was definitely like happier and more enthusiastic when he did it after Quid's Yone play. But it's like it's their theme song now.
I like
How
it.
can you not be happy after a 5-man Yone ult, though?
Otacon's the focus right now. Oh, Doom tried to get into the area. Impale misses everybody as Frosty's trying to get away. Everyone from Red are trying to get away using their ultimates, but the slaughter continues. 100 Thieves are chasing down Red Canids. They'll get the Otacon, and crush the fight. FNB finds one on the tail end of it as River will go down, but that's a consolation prize. 100 Thieves walk away the victors.
This 100 Thieves comp just has so many answers to get onto you, right? Like, oh, if one misses, then another one can follow up. As they're DPSing down, this Otacon, Doom goes in, tries for the steal, ends up immediately getting stuffed. Then River and Dhokla are instantly into the back line.
Actually crazy stuff from them. They just basically assassinate this Azir. Everybody focusing on the primary target here and chasing them down. I mean, this, you could tell the idea from Red. They were like, all right, this is getting out of hand quickly, so they really felt the pressure, and Doom wanted to go in for, you know, one of those big Otacon steals to try and get a turnaround for them. But in the end, it turns into just a landslide 400 Thieves. So not only the Otacon, but a ton of extra gold.
Yeah, the Otacon, they're still on Soul Point, right, with that Drake coming up in a little over a minute and a half. And 100 Thieves should be able to kind of just set up Vision as what they're doing right now, wherever they want, and then really force Red into bad contests.
Yeah, and at this point, I know that it was a slow ramp. Okay, I'll get back to that. Kaze in the side lane again. No flash available, has the Emperor's Divide, but Quid goes godlike. 7-0-8, 2 items completed with 24 stacks in the Mejai's. Insane performance from 100 Thieves' mid laner, and Kaze just cannot be in that side lane.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing performance coming out of FBI, coming out of Quid. They've both been doing so well in this series. Kind of like what Kobe said, right? Like, we love seeing compositions like this in 100 Thieves' hands. And I think the other big thing, as we pull it up, right? We have this bloodiness meter for combined kills per minute across all regions.
We're at 24 at 25 minutes.
We're kind of tracking it because we already surpassed it in this game right now.
Yep. We were going to do a whole setup thing where, like, oh, look, we passed LEC, we passed LCK.
They didn't give us a chance.
Yeah, it gave number one. They broke the thermometer already with the action in this one. Of course, the game is not over yet. We are in the middle of the action. And
maybe
now,
they just stop fighting.
It's going to keep going, though. Red, they're going to full send at Dhokla.
Yeah.
This is literally just everyone going for one kill. Get one more kill on the board.
5 members of Red. The Temper Fate will land. Dhokla's fate is surely secured here, but can he take anything with them? He's getting damage onto Rabelo, making Red waste a little time here for his death. Shut down over to FNB, but that took a long time.
It took a long time, and look at the timing, right? Like, Aurora is going to be able to push in this mid wave, and this is going to be Cloud Soul and an inhibitor turret over 200 Thieves for a kill onto Dhokla.
I mean, FNB is going to have to make that worth it. Maybe they find more, though, as they catch out Quid right now between worlds. Has the flash available. Is he able to escape? FNB tries to chase, but Quid lives. 100 Thieves get their mid laner out of there.
I thought for sure he was dead there, actually. I was like, okay, Quid, another consolation prize, right? You give over the soul, you give over open inhib over here for another kill, but Quid, the great escape with the assist from his team.
And that's kind of what you have to do as Red, right? When the game is kind of out of hand, they're like, you know what? We're just going to full send to at least try and get some kills. Sure. You know, they feel like they can't win the team fight at Seoul anymore, so that's why they're hoping for sending everything on Dhokla. But it does mean, you know, this is Chemtech Soul now on top of the 100 Thieves, so if you're also getting people low, it's going to be even harder for them to finish off kills. But Red are just like dreaming and hoping for some, you know, miracle, either Baron or Elder Dragon team fight, because Elder Dragon can be those flips that can save games that are otherwise just completely out of reach. But 100 Thieves, they just have such control now. It is actually so easy for them to rotate Vision resources over to Baron and then just bait you in, because they have so many ways to engage on you and turn on you. It becomes very dangerous to approach for Red.
It's a 9,000 gold lead. It's the Dragon Soul. 4,000 of that lead is Quid alone. This Aurora, she is so far ahead as Frosty sees the enemy jungler in his own jungle, and now in comes Dhokla. Frosty's gonna have to try and get away, flashes the wall. Doom's got a bigger health bar, so he can stick around for a little longer, but doesn't have that much backup. Redemption will keep him healthy, but now the public execution, Tempered Fate to delay the death, but it is inevitable. No, the flash over the wall, FBI Rocket will follow up, as now the Paw Blossom lands on the Kaze. He goes into the stasis next. FNB can't kill Dhokla. Big Dokes is too strong, as Kaze will escape, but Red lose too.
And that entire time was without one of their major damage dealers.
Without the 4,000 lead.
Who's just pushing on the top side of the map, just 100 Thieves taking everything away from Red, now looking to push and close out this game.
All right, that's just good, clean fun.
That is good, clean fun. That puts us at 27 kills in 28.5 minutes, and we could get a couple more here under the Nexus turrets. 100 Thieves decide to back off instead, though. They want to close this one out cleanly. They'll just take the inhibitor and walk away.
I mean, Dhokla was looking pretty smooth here on this Ambessa. I thought that was quite beautiful from him, but really, everybody on 100 Thieves is dashing forward, including their AD carry, you know, flashing and valking forward. You know, Eyla's proto-belting forward, Quid is jumping forward. Literally, you know, 100 Thieves. Let's see what the next step is going to be, because they took 2 inhibitors, so they could just go back bottom. But let's take another look at it. River just waiting in the jungle here, kind of softens them up. But Dhokla says, I'll take that to the next level. Chops down Frosty, and then they turn their sights on this Skarner, and they make Skarner look squishy.
Yeah. It's one of those moments where at the very beginning of Skarner, you're like, oh, I can take this. No, you cannot stay in that situation.
Yeah, and they have just so much damage coming out of FBI, and then Paw Blossom catching onto Kaze is huge. He's kind of the only major damage dealer on Red who could potentially turn around a fight, right? If he ends up popping off, taking out a few targets, especially with Quid on the other side of the map, right? So nice catch from 100 Thieves on the back half of that fight too.
Yeah, the little skirmishes are just so good for 100 Thieves. Obviously, they're really far ahead in gold, but also Red's ideal team fights looks like, hey, let's make uptime for Azir. And the Azir is just so far behind. Azir only has 2 items at the moment. Meanwhile, Quid is looking at 24 stacks on his Medjai's, 3 items and an arm guard, which is basically another item too.
And now they're just going to go in. 100 Thieves say, we will start the fight in your jungle. FBI has multiple members on him, but he just does too much damage as the rest of the Thieves hold the line from Red. It's looking like a clean ace. Double kill to FBI. The Thieves will chase down Frosty for the triple kill. 5 for 0. Clean ace to 100 Thieves.
Yep, and they're just going for the end as Quid is going to escort these minions in. Really, really nicely done from 100 Thieves, and they did it their way.
Hey everybody, I heard you like bloody games. 32 kills in 30.5 minutes. 100 Thieves strike first in this best of 5.
Yeah, we already broke the bloody this meter. I was like, oh, maybe we'll have to wait a game. Maybe they'll be a little hesitant. Not at all.
Yeah, exactly. Already right out of the gate, performing to expectations for these 2 teams. So will the fun continue? Let's ask the lounge.
I had a great time.
Of course it'll continue.
It'll continue, man. That's going to be exactly what we expected in terms of game pace, over 1 combined kill per minute.
Exactly. That's what the doctor ordered. You know, a nice fun game for #1. And we've got Thinkard here, who is going to be breaking us down some clips here pretty shortly. But honestly, a really strong showing here from 100 Thieves in game 1. I love their draft. They gave themselves so many different ways to start fights and to be able to skirmish really, really effectively, which to me is them in their comfort zone. And as soon as I saw the draft, I was feeling really, really good about this first game.
I love the draft. We'll talk a bit